I knew I'd make a strike player out of
Let's
you
do
yet.
it. This
How
actually
about
looks
this
fun.
time I tell you how to use a board's terrain to your advantage? This one's got all the different terrains you can encounter in a game of Strike. Knowing when and how to use them can mean the difference between victory and defeat. Terrain mainly affects your machine's combat power. As you know, when fighting an opponent's machine, you compare its combat power to yours. The higher your machine's combat power, the more damage you can do. So finding the right terrain is an essential strategy for overpowering your opponent. Here, I'll show you. Grab that piece to your left and move to attack my machines. Now let's take a look at your machine's combat power. Combat power is the sum of a machine's attack power and the value of the terrain it's standing on. Since your machine is attacking, it's using its 2 points of attack power. It's also standing on forest terrain with a value of 1 point. Add those together, and your machine has 3 points of combat power.
Okay.
My machine is standing on grassland terrain with a value of 0 points. It's also not attacking, which means their attack points aren't in play. So my combat power is 0. This means your machine can do 3 points of damage. Go ahead and test it out. There you go. Now, choosing the right terrain doesn't just improve your offense. It can also help defend your machines from attack. Grab your other piece and place it in front of my second machine. Since your machine is attacking, it's using its 2 points of attack power. It's standing on grassland terrain. This terrain has a value of 0. This means your machine's combat power adds up to 2 points. My machine can't use their attack power since they're defending their position. But they have the higher ground. They're standing on forest terrain, which is worth 1 point. This means my combat power adds up to 1 point. Now, the front of my machine is colored blue. This means that the spot you're about to attack has armor protecting it, which means my machine gets an extra point, giving it a total of 2 combat power points. If we compare the combat power of both machines, you'll see that you won't be able to do any damage. Whenever you're unable to top an opponent's combat power, you can still choose to attack and break their machine's defenses instead. Go ahead, try it out and see what happens. Ha, see? When you break a machine's defenses, you can knock it backwards.
Okay.
Sure, both our machines will receive 1 point of damage, but knocking my machine off that terrain makes it more vulnerable to attacks.
But it's still in the same terrain.
Not only that, if my machine had been blocked from moving backwards, it would have received an extra point of damage. And if my machine had been blocked by another one of my pieces, that machine would have received damage as well.
Oh.
That's why breaking a machine's defenses is a great way to deal damage to several pieces at once. Useful, right?
Okay.
Now go ahead and end your turn. There's still one more thing I want to show you. All right, as we've seen, the higher the terrain, the more it'll add to your machine's combat power. However, there are 2 other terrains that work a little differently. This is what we call a chasm. Only flying machines can be placed on those. But it'll take away 2 combat points if you do, so be wary. This is marsh terrain. Landing on it will take away 1 combat power point from most machines. It'll also keep your machine from moving for the rest of the turn. Here, let me show you. Grab that machine on your left. See? All you can do now is wait for your next turn to move again. Or you can overcharge your machine to get out of there. You can still attack any nearby enemies so you're not completely helpless. Well, I think that's enough yammering from me for now. Promise it'll all come in handy next time you play.
Okay. I think there's one more tutorial. Yes. Okay.
Here for more tips?
Let's do it.
Why don't I tell you a bit more about the pieces we used to play? In a normal game, you get to choose which machines you place on the board. Each one is worth a certain number of setup points, and you can spend up to 10 assembling your army. Knowing what each machine brings to the game and building an army that matches your strategy is the key to becoming a machine strike master. When assembling your army, there are a few things to keep in mind. First and foremost, you can never have more than 4 of the same machine on the board at the same time. With that in mind, most players would choose machines based on how far they can move or how much attack power they have. But a real strike player will be looking at a machine's type and skills. Let's take a quick look, shall we? Pick up that machine on your left. All right, let's talk about the different ways in which a machine attacks its opponents. In other words, its machine type. If you look at your notes, you'll see this machine here is a melee type. You can also tell by the shape of the base the piece stands on. A melee type machine attacks the first enemy within range, and no one else. We've seen this plenty of times, so just move that piece forward so I can show you some more stuff. Great, now grab your other machine. Looks like we've got ourselves a gunner type machine here. This means they'll only hit the farthest enemy in their attack range. Let's move that machine forward and end your turn so we can take a look at the rest of the pieces. Let's go with this piece first. This is a ram type machine. Attack an enemy with it, and it'll push the piece backwards. Like this. See, now my machine has taken over your machine's spot on the board. This is a great way to take the advantage away from your opponent if they have the higher ground. Looks like we have one more piece to look at. Now this is a beauty of a piece. A dash type machine. When it attacks, it'll move to the end of its attack range and damage every machine in its path, including your own. So make sure you take a good look at the board before you send it off to the races. You should also make sure it's able to finish its attack on an empty spot. Otherwise, you won't be able to attack at all. Here, I'll show you. Look, it even rotated your piece. A nifty little piece you'll definitely want in your set. If you look at your notes, you'll notice this particular machine has one of the skills I mentioned before. There's quite a few of those, and we haven't even looked at all the machine types yet. But I'm pretty sure you've got more important things to do, so I made you a list. It's got all the tips and tricks we talked about, too. I think that about does it for now, so if you want to play a real game...
Yes, let's try a real game. Machine type. Melee always attacks the first. Ram attacks the first and knocks it backwards. Swoop attacks the first and moves next to it. Gains +1 combat power on all terrains and can ignore all terrain penalties. Pull always attacks the first machine in its attack range and pulls the enemy 1 terrain closer to it. 1 combat power on marsh and can traverse through it without hindering its movement. Okay. All right, let's do it.
Here we go. That's it for me. I'm up. Your turn.
There we go. Okay.
My turn. Well, that's done now.
Oh, god damn. Oh, wait. Yes.
Ah, looks like I lost.
Got him. Okay. Medium? Ooh, if I beat him, I get a... Okay, so they actually, I think, gives me the same set that she's using.
Let's do this. Your move, Red.
Okay.
Time to make my move. You're up, Red.
Do I want to do that?
Okay, let's see. Board's all yours. What a hit! less
Get
piece
rid
on
of
the
one of
board.
their part pieces.
Time to get serious. You're up, Red.
Hey, Max.
That was brutal. Okay, let's see. Knocked right off the board.
There we go.
Ahead of me.
I found the board game.
Time to make my move. You got me. Fair and square.
I win! Board games, photo mode, exploration, collectibles. We're gonna be playing this one for a while. I want the bristleback piece. Oh, someone doesn't even have a skill. It just has more.
Let's play. Board's all yours.
It's kind of like chess on steroids.
I'm up. Your Your move, Red. Time to get serious. Your turn. My turn. Ah, off the board it goes. That was brutal. Well, that's done now.
There we go. So I don't know if you missed the tutorial on this. Like each tile piece has a different effect for each different character piece.
Ah, off the
Oh
board
shit!
it
I'm
goes.
getting my ass kicked.
One less piece on the board.
There we go. Okay. What does he have here? That's a burrower. And that's a scrounger. And this is the Lancehorn. Yeah. Okay. So.
My turn. That's it for me.
Okay.
Oh, you hit that weak spot all right.
And then.
Knocked right off the board.
Took you 5? I had 6. We're talking about Wordle, by the way. But that's because I got stuck in the frickin'... Oh, this is a terrible... Oh, no, wait, no. He's only got... Okay.
Time to make my move. Your move, Red. Still thinking, huh?
No!
I
I
won!
lose! Crap.
But I'll play you again if you want.
Okay, we'll try that again.
This is gonna be fun. That's it for me.
Okay, wait, where did she put her lance horns? Okay, there's one. And there's the other.
Time to get serious. You're up, Red.
No, because if I move there, then they can move the lance horn here, and then they can attack me. I think they're trying to lure me out. Same if I put one there, so we're not going to put one there. We'll do that.
I'm up. That was brutal.
Oh, wait.
Oh, seriously?
Okay.
Time to make my move. Board's all yours. Knocked right off the board.
Literally.
the board it goes.
There we go. Okay.
Okay, let's see. Your turn. Time to get serious.
Crap. I was trying to
less
stop her
piece on
from
the
getting
board.
that.
That's it for me. Well, that's done now. Off the board it goes.
Okay.
My turn.
Shit.
One less piece on the board.
Oh, oh, oh! I have to play a little bit defensively, though.
I'm up.
Because if I can't get them both in one shot, then
You're
I'm
up, Red.
screwed. Well, maybe not necessarily in... Okay, that could work. Wait, no. Shit.
You got me down to one piece. I am impressed.
Oh, wait! Yes! Oh, no, shit. That's not gonna work.
Okay, let's see. Oh, I won!
Damn it! Oh, I was so close that time! I was actually really close that time.
Good
Okay.
luck.
I need to get rid of their lance horns as quickly as possible, I think. That's gonna be my goal. Just because I think
Board's
those are
all
the
yours.
strongest pieces we have right now.
your turn. Knocked right off the board.
Okay.
Time to make my move. Your move, Red.
Okay, that takes out one lance horn.
Time to get serious.
If I can lure that other lance horn out, that's actually not a bad thing right at this point. Because I'm far enough out. Ow.
Well, that's done now. Your move, Red. Off the board it goes. Well, that's done now.
There we go.
Time to get serious.
There we go.
Oh, I thought I had that one.
Yes. All right. Oh, cool. So you can actually get skill points from this. You like how every game now has to have its own tabletop minigame? Hey, I like the games. This one's actually kind of cool, though. Like, at least this isn't just another rehash of, like, your standard card game, you know? This is actually almost like a chess on steroids, you know? It's almost like chess meets Risk, I guess. Even though I've never played Risk. Like, I'm actually genuinely curious as to whether this is based on a real game or whether this is, I mean, obviously it's probably at least sort of based on a real game, but, like, if it's a direct port of a real board game, or if they legit were like, you know what, let's make a chess on steroids with a little touch of Risk thrown in there, you know? But I actually get skill points for doing this stuff, so hell yeah. Okay. Because that's a ram, and a ram. That's a gunner. That's a melee. I don't know how many setup points something is worth. I don't think there's any mountains, so I'm not going to pick the one that gets bonus from mountain. We'll go with this. It's probably part of... Try that? Actually, there's only one hill. So maybe we'll take out one Lancehorn. And throw in the other gunner. Because there's only 4 hills. Okay, let's try this.
That's it for me.
Where'd they put their Lancehorns? Okay, there's one. That is going to be something we have to deal with quick. Okay. So they've got them on the back. Let's send out my burrowers first. Try to lure somebody out. Like that.
That was brutal.
This one's only vulnerable from the back.
I'm up. You have to admit, that was impressive.
They just took out their own bristleback. Okay.
One less piece on the board.
Or their Lancehorn. Either way, I've now got the bristleback and one of the Lancehorns out, so... Yoink. Oh, I should have rotated the gunner, dude.
You're up, Red.
Oh, because it's from the front. That's right. Do that.
Time to
Because, like, even the facing of your pieces matters.
Your turn. Knocked right off the board. Board's all yours. Well, spark my.
There
board.
we
You
go.
have
Look
beat
at
me
that.
on
I did
every
pretty
one
damn.
of my boards.
I did
Now
pretty
that
darn
deserves a
well.
prize, I say.
Nice. So I got a bristleback strike piece. And I beat all of her boards.
Don't be a stranger.
Alright, guys, hold tight. I'm gonna be right back. I gotta run to the bathroom.